We're here at Steam Dev Days and we're describing some things. There's walls, there's a ceiling, there's a floor, there's lights, exit lights. People are coming and going. They look excited. Actually, they don't. They look a little bit tired. Is it good?
Yeah, the levels look good.
Okay.
What's your name and what's your game?
My name is James Silva and my latest game is Salt and Sanctuary.
I'm in the special credits of Salt and Sanctuary along with my co-conspirators on Darkest Dungeon. When was that decision made? Because I had no idea.
You know, I think like it was basically what we do is like anyone that helped us in any capacity, we put them in. I mean, I put my I put my sister in there. I don't think she's played our game.
You got to put family.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I put both my sisters in there. You know, because it's family. It's like, you know, they're emotionally supportive. You guys, we met you at South by Southwest, and we commiserated. We all had like kind of a lousy time there.
That was the best show. That was the most fun we've had.
Except
South by Southwest for us.
Yeah, the hanging out. Or the show itself?
The show was casual. We just released, so whatever. We just showing the Steam build.
So
it doesn't matter.
Right.
We were staying at the hotel that has a really blues-based dive bar called the Blue Moon. So we were there twice a night. It was really funny, just because we had to go for whatever reason. Like it was like this tradition we kept up. You guys were right next to us, so we had cool neighbors.
Yeah. And you
ate a bunch of barbecue, which I understand your situation, so can't really take full advantage of that.
I can eat it. Michelle does not.
I mean.
But yeah, you covered our booth a couple of times, and you know, so you basically, you know, you're part of the part of the process, you know, part of the game making. So we, you know, special thanks. We're really happy that you, we're really happy that they, helped us out there. Just, you know, at a moment's notice.
Your build broke.
Oh yeah, and our build broke too, didn't it?
I had to reboot it.
Yeah, and yeah, you did that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I know where the play button is on Visual Studio.
Yeah, not everyone would. And thanks for that.
What was it like being next to Sound Self?
Oh yeah, that was the whole thing. Because the people that were there were nice people. They're good people. Their setup was not ideal for us because it had things going for it. So it's a very casual convention, and their setup was a tent. So when you have a tent, that's like kind of mystery and excitement. And it was also a VR game, and like VR games, even here. At Steam Dev Days, there's VR setups, and I've been kind of like looking at them, waiting for a spot to open up, and I've just been looking the whole time, and the spot has never opened up.
This is 2014. This is 2014.
Oh yeah, that was 2014. Yeah, it's 2016 now, and like you'd think everyone would be pretty over VR, but no, everyone's always trying something, and I never get a chance to play, basically it always generates lines, and like most of all, you'd expect it to generate lines at a casual thing like South by Southwest,
which is open to the public, and I would say
and free too. I think it was free.
Yeah, it was free. Yeah. I would say it was about the amount of like maybe half the 6th floor packs. I think the games were. I think they had some bangers.
Yeah.
Like Salt and Sanctuary.
Hey.
Speedrunners.
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
Hyperlight Drifter.
Oh yeah, that was there.
Yeah, we had some.
Yeah.
It's good, but roughly I'd say the size-wise, half of the 6th floor of packs.
Yeah.
If it was only games and not people trying to sell T-shirts and games to go to their school.
Right. Well, yeah, the Sound Self situation, the line to play it, we had this situation where the line kept basically blocking the front of our booth, and it was one of those things where if you complain about it, it makes you seem like a weird loser, where you're like, I'm upset.
A coward.
Yeah, I'm upset. Everyone wants to go to their booth. They should want to come to my booth. But really, it's just like you've got your game there, and if a line is kind of choking out your booth, that's no fun for anyone. But because the crowd was so casual, no one wanted to play our game to begin with. So that's why for me it wasn't a very fun convention, because the game hadn't launched yet. You had launched, and you were like, "Hey, our game did all right," or actually it did fantastic.
We were like,
you're like it did fantastic. It doesn't matter what you can play it or not. It doesn't matter. For us, it was like we were like halfway through development, and like people would come by, they would play it for a minute, and then they'd be like, put the controller down, walk away, and then very quickly the line to Sound Self would totally totally absorb the entirety of the front of our booth. And we're like, it doesn't really matter because no one wants to play our game anyway. And it was kind of like an emotionally crucial moment where you're seeing people, like, you're like, what will they think? What will the public think? And then you observe it firsthand, and you're like, oh, okay, the public's not interested. Maybe I just wasted a year of my life. Maybe I should just cut my losses and start something new. And all these doubts start forming, and that was my South by experience. So we really enjoyed spending time with you guys. That was great. The rest of it, not so much. And
shoot.
were they?
No.
And the awards show, they had the trailer reel.
One more thing before the before.
Oh, you wanted to talk about that?
Yeah, one more thing about Sound Self is the tent is completely covered. So the people that I asked a few people, because like the end of the line that was through your booth was at our booth, so I'd talk to them.
Oh yeah, right.
And I'd be like, do you know what you're in line for? And they'd say, I have no idea.
But it's a line.
But it's a line.
It's a tent.
And it's a tent, so I have to say.
Right. And it draws me.
And the game itself is you like lying out and tripping out on pillows.
They give you actual drugs, and they don't give you drugs.
No, there's like incense or candles or something.
It's like Burning Man turned into a game experience.
But the reason we went was because we already said we were nominated for the award of South by Southwest, the Player's Choice. South by Southwest is a convention people have heard of. So for us, we're like, we're doing an early access launch.
Got nominated,
as much help as we can. The Page Looks Better's got this big thing that says South by Southwest. It was, so we were just, because you had to go. And then we've already released early access, so we've already done well. And we didn't really need to go. But if we didn't go, we'd have to remove we've already committed to it by saying we're nominated publicly.
Yes.
So, there was a very swanky award show. First question about the award show, which was in this really nice, ballroom that we had, our whole separate entrance to.
Yeah, we did, huh?
Yeah, and, it was a really nice ballroom. At the time, no idea who Markiplier was. Markiplier was the host.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any idea who that was at the time?
I don't follow all of the streamers. I know about way more streamers now than I did back then. But I didn't know that he's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Markiplier, yeah.
But I just didn't know at the time.
Yeah, me neither.
There's this random guy and this 2-year-old girl screaming, "I love you, Markiplier," and just going I do not necessarily understand what's happening. I don't
no,
get
yeah,
it.
Yeah, it's a I mean, for me, so I'm 35. It becomes a generational thing, and you have to keeping up with the new thing is becoming. It's a weird new challenge, and it's I'm kind of accepting. Maybe I'm getting old, because at first this whole the whole premise of Twitch stars, it was so bizarre and strange, and now I get it and I like it, but the time it took for me to really just grok it as an old, and even grok is an old geek word, isn't it?
I've never heard that word in my life.
It comes from Unix people, I think. But it's to understand, and but the time it took me to get there was a little bit substantial, The younger people, they're just I know that guy, I love that guy, Me, I was I don't
think of the award show.
So with that was the one thing I remember from the awards show is just they had the whole time you're like okay, we're nominated, we're here,
to be fair, everyone there was nominated. Every indie that was there was nominated.
Yeah, that was kind of
it was a fan voting.
Yeah,
at the show.
Fan voting.
So you were hustling votes.
Yeah, and the voting was it was at an iPad, which was at a physical location among the booths. And
like I say, I was closer to some games.
Closer to some games than others. Yeah, and but anyway, you're like, all right, we're here. It's Markiplier is doing his live stream. I think tens of thousands of people were watching it, or thousands anyway. And we're basically okay, but we're not gonna win. But we're nominated, and we're going to appear in our game is going to appear in some capacity, right, for the nominations. And they had this trailer reel of the nominations, and they left 2 games off, and they switched the names of 4 games, I think. But we were one of the games they were left off.
Yeah, I remember watching it going
Yeah, and it was okay, the whole, like I said, the whole weekend was just, the crowd was not not great, right? The crowd
The
wasn't.
crowd was fine for us.
Not for us.
There was a guy who was wearing a Texas tie with a Majora's mask. And I'm like, that's
Texas tie. That's like with
that's like the string.
the bull head. Yeah, the string. But
but
this
it
time
had
was,
a Majora's mask.
Right.
I don't really like Majora's mask, but
yeah.
but like
the picture that it presents.
like something about that is like culturally significant to me. Like just like, oh, this is guys Texas and
it's like a very, very weird little subgroup, you know. It's
and
like,
all the food we had was great.
Oh yeah,
the city was super clean.
Right.
Did you go to the Hotline Miami 2 launch party?
I think I did not. No, yeah, I didn't.
That was really rad. They had like 2 separate bands. As they had like a thrasher kind of hard rock band, and then they had a magic sword, which was fucking amazing. Just because like there's a point in the show where they pulled out a bunch of swords, like everybody in the crowd had like these light up swords for the concert, and the music's like kind of
that's cool. I like those kinds of
electrical things. But it was cool because you could like, oh, I don't want to see this concert. I'm gonna go to the other room and like listen to that concert. So
right,
it was kind of
that's pretty cool. Yeah, and Devolver is right in Austin, right? And that's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's their home territory. Yeah.
And just like, I don't know, I found Austin really cool. Like they had that bar district where it's all houses and there's like picket fences with like bouncers at the picket fence that are checking ID.
I did not see that. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and I had some decent barbecue, like really good barbecue, like probably, and it was the only food. There wasn't a food truck across the street.
Oh yeah, like food trucks were good. We got to hang out with. We used to hang out with Twisted Pixel a lot, and they stopped doing conventions, like maybe 2 years ago or so. And so what happens is we just
Creators Explosion Man.
Yep, Explosion Man. Yeah. They haven't announced what they're working on. They've just been kind of radio silent for a while. But they're in Austin, so we got to hang out with them. You know, we know a couple people that work there. We got to go get lunch with them, and we went to like a I don't know. I mean, he was calling it like two-step like country, like it was like a very like a traditional hipster Austin country fun bar with a food truck in the back. We went with Matt Chaney, Chainsaw, and we've known him for a while. That was really nice, just getting to catch up with all those folks. Because I'd never been to Austin, and that was nice. But yeah, the South by experience was kind of a low point.
I mean, I don't know if the show. We just had a great time outside the show. The show was fine. It's like whatever. We're like our game shows well.
Yeah.
When we can be there and talk to them and they get excited and then they lose.
Right. And you guys are I mean, well, Darkest Dungeons anyway, it's like we've been exhibiting since 2010, just all of our various games. So we've got this whole, it's always PAX East or PAX West or, what else do we do? We've done like E3 and GDC here and there. But it's like the crowd is a type of crowd, and you take our game and you put it in front of a casual crowd, and it's demos way differently.
And it's also like a casual tour. Like some people might just be there for South by Southwest when this is going on before.
Yeah, and they're like, games? Okay, yeah, I know games. Like, I mean, some of the comments you'd hear, I like, that there's this one, this guy is telling his girlfriend, he's like, that reminds me of like Transylvania. Remember that game Transylvania? And she's like, what? I don't. And he's like, yeah, there's this game Transylvania. There's a guy with a whip. And I was like, Castlevania? And she's like, Castlevania. That's like that kind of crowd, like people who played games when they were, when Nintendo was a thing, and now they're like, yeah, I'm here for some culture, and when you get these games that are specifically aimed at like core fans of a specific genre. You're not going to get mass appeal, and you shouldn't try for it. And if you beat yourself up over not getting it, you're just gonna end up upset about it. Which is where I kind of ended up. I was like, why do these people hate my game? Should I make it appeal to them somehow? And the answer is no.
No, you just stick to stick to your roots till everybody figures out that it's like a Dark Souls Castlevania game. And
we did some user experience testing. We talked a little about this at PAX West at a panel I was on about game design, and we did some UX testing for Salt, user experience testing with the QA house we were using, because they also offered UX testing, and like I was cold on the idea, but they were like, at the very least you'll get something out of it, So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And we had 10 people. That's all it takes to pressure me into.
You get something out of it.
You're like, okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah, record this podcast.
Right. Want to try crack? You'll get something out of it. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, we had 10 UX testers, and one of them was a big Dark Souls fan, and lo and behold, 9 of them just didn't like it, and one of them, she absolutely loved it, and that's can you guess where this is going?
Yeah.
The Dark Souls fan, and just like she wouldn't stop, like they were like wrapping up and like unplugging things, putting things away, and she was like just telling the test administrator, she's like I did this and I thought I could do this, but then I did this, and like she was just excited about it, right? And he's like, oh, okay, well, we'll see you around, and she still wants to talk about it. And like and she was excited. That was exciting. Everyone else was like, when it's like asking questions, it's like, would you buy this game? And they're like, maybe because like the sentiment, like just to remember this, as like a memento, but I don't really
want to buy it as a memory of what games were like.
Of this time I got to come to the UX thing, or but like no one liked it, they wanted it to tell you where to go. They wanted it to be easier. They wanted more direction as to like more tutorials, more hand-holdy stuff, more casual, more accessible, and for you basically, you're like, well, we could, but we should stick to our guns. But maybe you ask what you start wondering, like, would this be the right direction? But I think basically if we made it more accessible, it would lose its appeal with the core fans, which I am one of, and it wouldn't gain the appeal of the mass market, and you'd end up with nothing. So that's why we kept it just obscure and insanely difficult, and I just loving every second of it.
Like, I actually genuinely wanted to play the game. Like, not out of like, you probably know this, not out of like, oh yeah, they're my friends. Like, oh yeah, I know them, they're cool, I'm gonna play their game. Like, I just wanted to play it regardless. And one of the main reasons is because, so I played through Dark Souls 1, played through Dark Souls 2, played through Bloodborne, I'm fucking done. Like, I've had my fill. Those 3 games came out in 4 years.
Right.
I did play Demon's Souls as well, but didn't get it at the time, never went back. But like, I was fucking done, and your game was like just enough Dark Souls to scratch the Dark Souls 3 hype itch that was just going around. Everybody talking about Dark Souls 3, everybody like,
yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not gonna play it. It's too much. I'm done. But your game like was just enough Dark Souls to scratch that itch, but then not enough, like, so not Dark Souls at the same time,
right.
That it was new and refreshing, and I had a great time playing it. And I was curious because the timing of your release also aligned into that, because you got out before Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, just barely.
And I'm curious, like, how much, like, what was that timing process like? Like, were you just, that's just when it came out? Was that always the plan? Did you, like, had to rush to get there, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a scramble. I feel a little bad because it felt like there were parts. I mean, I could have worked on it for years and years and years and never felt like it was done. So it was kind of, it was a point where we were like, all right, we're just gonna wrap a bow on it and like, get all the bugs fixed. In terms of content, we're kind of freezing all that because we just have to get it out there. And so it was a bit of a scramble. We thought we'd have. It kept seeming like we had more time than we had, and it was just like nope, have to do it now. And also we got in a Sony promotion too, so that became another bit of a scramble.
Oh yeah, it was like a spring fling or something like,
right,
like pre-order the games and get.
Yeah. So we had that, and then that was another factor. So it became like when 2016 started shaping up, 2015 ending, 16 was like just beginning. It was like okay, this is all kind of coming down to, you have to do a lot of things, otherwise everything falls apart. You have to do this now. You have to. So yeah, it became a pretty pretty heavy bit of crunch to get it out there. But yeah, we got it. I think it was like 3 weeks, like 2.5, 3 weeks before Dark Souls 3, and it did. I feel a little guilty about how perfect of timing that was, because it's just it was too good.
I mean, you prevented me from buying Dark Souls 3.
Oh no. Oh, come now! Still buy Dark Souls 3. It's a good game. I get it.
It's been a while,
dude. I played through it.
I go back from Bloodborne, and I wasn't like.
Bloodborne is
like
the
I
only
got
game
to the last boss in Bloodborne, and he was like, "Okay, I can kill you, or you can fight me." And I was like, "You know what?
Oh,
just kill me. I'm done. Like I've had enough."
Right.
I want some time.
I was unclear about what they were asking, because it was like, wait, literally, I didn't.
Spoilers for.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I didn't know it was at stake. Because I've never seen it where it's like you get the option just to skip the last boss, and so I just had him kill me the first time around, and then I thought maybe he was like an optional, like super hard mini boss before the real final boss or something, and then it was just like, nope, credits, and I was like, oh, well, okay, let's do it again. Then I had to play it again. Bloodborne's the only game I platinumed on any PlayStation thing, including our own, because I have 100% of that on Steam anyway, and I'm good.
So back to the original whole topic of the interview, South by Southwest. We ended South by Southwest by going to a restaurant.
Yes.
What was It was your guys' idea, so what was the decision making on that?
What was the restaurant? It wasn't it kind of like
a Hawaiian restaurant.
Was it? Yeah.
Like
okay.
Tropical. It had like a beach volleyball court.
Yeah. I remember it had like the beach theme going. For some reason, I was thinking it was Australian too. But maybe that was because we were just talking about the Where's Tyler thing.
Oh yeah, it's the end of the bead.
It's the end of the bead. Yeah, I had totally forgot what the setup for that was, and now I know Tyler. I didn't know Tyler back then.
Yeah.
He's here somewhere.
Yeah, no, he's there. He did a talk. Yeah.
No kidding.
No, the whole setup of that is like Tyler and Chris, the co-founders of Red Hook Studios, creators of Darkest Dungeon.
Right.
They have this healthy, competitive relationship. Like, it's a healthy competitive relationship with each other and their fame and their like a lot of interviews in the start is like, one of us got to do it, we both got to do it, we both got to be the faces of this.
Yeah.
It's not a thing where one person's the face, it's the both of them.
I remember the Chris Meerkat stuff. The meerkat, or the like a prairie dog kind of thing with the
the crazy eyes. Yeah, the PC Gamer interview. Yeah, he looked nuts. But part of that was that Trent Custer's knew Tyler from before.
Oh, that was Trent. I know Trent now.
And Tyler was not Trent Custer's of our Mellow fame.
Yeah.
League of Geeks.
Yeah, no, we know Trent now. And he's here too.
Yeah, he's here as well. Steam Dev Days 2016. October 13th.
We met Trent in Kyoto. We had ramen with him.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He's hilarious. But he came to the booth looking for Tyler, because Tyler's the person he knew from
where's Tyler?
some Kickstarter
It's
thing.
the end of the bead.
And Tyler wasn't there. I can't remember what show it was, but I think it was a show Tyler missed. So Chris was just like, it was always, where's Tyler? Where's Tyler?
All right.
Where's Tyler?
Where's Tyler?
And Chris was getting a bit like,
I'm Chris.
I did all the art.
Do I not count? I am Barasa art.
Yeah.
Does that count for nothing?
Yeah. So that's where it came from, is that Trent Custers would always be like, and then we were
I know everyone in that story.
And then we were doing that joke at South by Southwest all the time. We'd basically come to our hotel room, we'd all do it. Chris would do the best job.
He's got a solid Australian accent. Mine's rubbish.
Yeah, I just noticed say bead. But I was more New Zealander. But so we go to our hotel room, joke about that, die laughing, and then end up going back to the Blue Moon again. And it was like, I was not drinking, and I was like dying laughing during the whole situation.
Right.
I think that's why we speak highly of
that all.
Southwest.
That all like ties it together now in a nice package. Where's Tyler? But I know it's like the way Michelle and I talk about South by is like the convention itself is like never doing that again. But we loved hanging out with you guys. Like, we loved that we met you guys, and like we kind of wished that we spent more time hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Like that one dinner at that Australian / Hawaiian / beach
Yeah, we had a good time.
Because every other place was full. You couldn't get a table, and for some reason this one is just it's empty, and it's got beer, and it's got passable food, and we're just like, oh, thank God.
And beach volleyball court.
Yeah.
Which is so weird.
Right?
The idea, because it's Texas. It's not like there's beaches in Austin, to my knowledge.
Right? But for them, they're like, hey, let's we like beaches. Let's make a beach themed restaurant, and we found it, But we were all tired and hungry and annoyed, and just finding that place was like, oh, finally. And we found a nice. It was like they had this whole back room that was just it was quiet. It felt like a camp cafeteria or something. It had indoor tablecloths.
It's got kind of those 50s
the plasticky tablecloths.
Yeah.
When I said indoor, I mean like indoor, the picnic tablecloths, but they were indoors. That they had that plasticky feel to them. That was, But but it was like, oh my God, like having to go from one crowded place to the next, and then we just get this whole back room to ourselves, and I think I had fish tacos or something.
Yeah, I had some fried fish.
Yeah, and it's
I think I ordered broccoli.
You ordered broccoli.
So I was like, I need to eat some vegetables this trip. It can't just be all barbecue.
Right? I have never seen broccoli offered at. I mean, I guess here and there you do, but it's a very rare thing to see.
A side of broccoli.
Yeah, just the side of broccoli. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really fun trip. We look back at it as still to this day the most fun trip. We've been on, which is a bit disappointing because not everybody was there.
Tyler was missing.
Yeah, Tyler couldn't make it. He had.
But yeah, it was you, Jeff, and Chris. That's who. Yeah.
So, and it was just, and also tied with just doing early access release. It was kind of and also that was when each show you kind of make new friends or friends become deeper, and that was this show for the Red Hook Ska Studios connection or whatever.
It was our meetup. It was our big heartwarming.
Yeah, it's your neighbors, whoever your neighbors are, always end up being, from my experience, always end up being your friends.
Right.
And it kind of goes from show to show.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times. So thanks for being on the question bus.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Is there anything else you want to plug?
Assault and Sanctuary, it's out on PS4 and Steam. It'll be on Vita eventually. That's our game. Actually, our
good job. I'm glad you're doing Vita. It's very good that people release quality video games on Vita.
we're having the same guy do ours who did yours.
Yeah, well, I mean, it should. I mean, it's out. Darkest Dungeon on Vita's out, so Assault and Sanctuary will be coming out. And also, that's yours is X and A.
Yeah, X and A, so it's mono game.
So I think that's a more traditional port nowadays.
I hope so. It's gonna be the second X and A. I think Axiom Verge was the first, and then we're gonna be the second. That's because you're just native code, right?
Yeah, we're just native.
Yeah, we're all that weird .NET messy garbage collection, and that good stuff. But yeah, we've been working with Tom Spillman. He's doing the Vita port. Basically, most of my side is figuring out what kind of effects we can strip to keep the look the same, but try to help performance. And then a lot of UI moving around because the UI is all hard coded. Don't tell anyone. So I had to do a bit of futzing.
Well, I mean, we had to basically repass the UI, but that was because it was mouse and keyboard. I mean, we don't have we don't have we have a way of developing UI quickly that doesn't break. Compared to a lot of UI I've worked with, and both me and Chris hate it. We both hate the process from the passion, but we can get it done. We'll definitely do something different in the future, but we did have to go through and kind of, for a controller, do it fast. So at least your game is meant to be played with the controller.
It is meant to be played with the controller, yeah. We had a bug with the mouse and keyboard forever, and I never got around to fixing it because it was mouse clicks wouldn't register at 30 FPS.
Do you not do event-based mouse?
So what? It's kind of basically I would have a check for a click occur during draw calls. because drawing was the only place where the game really kept track of locations. It's it's just kind of a mess, but like it would be like, all right, draw this here, draw that there, and like what you could do is just like extend those functions to be, instead of draw, they could be like if draw, and then like if that was true, that meant that a click occurred there, so it's like if draw button here, then actually what it would do is then it would queue up like a button press. So the next time it went to the controller update, it would be like, okay, you've selected that and now you've pressed it. So it was pretty convoluted, but it was way easier to just do that within the code, the way it was set up.
And you're also working in the somewhat unique dynamic of being the only coder.
Yeah.
So
that's nice. That's a nice thing. Yeah, I can do bad things.
It's not necessarily bad things, but like you can
different things.
It's going to consistently be
unacceptable things.
So things that work for you or things that you think work that might be confusing to other people. You don't necessarily need to worry about.
Ethan Lee is doing our mono game, or not. He's not mono. He's FNA. He's doing our FNA Mac and Linux stuff, and he's doing. He's bringing Dishwasher 2, Dishwasher Vampire Smile, and Charlie Murder to Steam. Oh, I can plug that. Yeah, Dishwasher Vampire Smile and Charlie Murder coming to Steam.
Is that metagame with zombies on Steam?
It's not, and we'll maybe talk about that.
I'm still trying to get my XSplit check.
Your what?
My Xbox.
Oh, they owe you money.
It's not a lot, and really it's because like at the time, notarizing my passport and doing all the paperwork was going to cost more than I'd make. So I was just like, forget it. Right. But like now I'm waiting on my $125 over the last like 7 or 6 years.
You might never get it.
Well, I got to fill out like an American income tax thing, so I think I want to hit them back and be like, how about just give me Xbox Live dollars and we just call it even.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fill this out.
Right.
Yes, Darkest Dungeon.
Sorry.
You got 1 second. Yeah, just in the middle of an interview, but yeah. So what's your personal Twitter account?
Oh, it's at Jamezilla with one L, Jamezilla.
And any company Twitter accounts?
Ska Studios. Yeah.
Okay, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. Who do you think is going to be the musical performance at Steam Dev Days?
Oh, we're hoping for Chemical Brothers this year, I think, right? Probably not.